just say there might be a warrant there for my arrest.
Where are my freaking cookies? Where are my cookies? Where are the cookies? Which parties? Ouch!
Bam! Tell him where your cookies are!
Where are my cookies?
Alright, you wanna know where your cookies are? You wanna know where your cookies are? I show you where your cookies are. I show you! I show you! I show you!
Matrix! Yeah, Matrix. Wait. Yeah.
No! Ow!
Where are your cookies?
They're in my belly! Get a slap!
Get me, baby!
Get a slap! No, get a slap! Get a slap on his head! Quick! Get a slap! He took your cookies. I didn't take no cookies. He took your cookies. He took your cookies. See? Look, come here. Look. Ow, see, look. See, look. He took your cookies. Bam!
Right, that's all the frantic stuff out of the way. We only have a little more of this tune to learn and we're done. So this you might like to think of as the clean outro section. So we're back to the clean sound and we're back to the octave shapes. Here's the first little segment. Should sound something like this. So much of this will be familiar to you from what we did at the start of the track. First octave shape, looking mainly at the notes on the A string here, so that's 7th fret, go up 3 frets to there. And I'll move on to the next set of strings and counting the D string notes, it's 7th fret and 9th fret. And on the highest possible octave shape here, G and E strings, that's the 7th fret there. So this section you'll remember, you slide up quickly to the 9th fret on the D, and then at a more relaxed pace down to the 7th fret and finally the 5th. So. Okay, another Hendrix flavoured fill coming up here. So this arguably based around that minor 7th shape there. So you'd start out with your little finger on the 10th fret on the top E string, and then you go to the 9th fret on the G, 8th on the B, and the G string again, but this time you've taken your ring finger off, so it's the 7th fret. So. And now a couple of double stops. You hit the G and B strings, holding the same chord shape, hammer on at the 9th fret on the G string, and then play the same double stop again without the 9th fret. And then round it off with that. So that section again. Okay, the next section nearly the same as ideas that we've met earlier. There's that broken octave idea. You're moving your fretting hand just as a block of notes, but you're picking the low note first. So you'd start with your D string at the 7th fret, slide up to, and now you pick the the B string part, and finally landing there, 5th fret on the D string, and cut it off. And then same shape again, re-pick it, and slide up 2 frets. You conclude that bar with 5th fret on the A string, and its accompanying octave, 7th fret on the G. And that's the first real departure, this part here. You'd start with an octave, 9th fret at the A string, bend them both up a semitone and down again, as quick as you can, and then slide down to the 7th on the A string, and finally the 5th on the A string. So you come back, play this one, 7th fret, cut it off, and then finally, it's really important that you just lock your hand into the octave shape so that both of the notes move at the same rate. So that's your goal right there, 2nd fret on the A string. And at the end of that, there's a little chordal fragment, which is kind of like a D suspended 2nd shape. Open E string, 3rd fret on the B, 2nd on the G string, and then play them all together and cut them off. Right, the next segment, you can hear a lot of wah-wah pedal in evidence. I've chosen not to use a wah for this, so you can hear what the licks would sound like without any of those toys. So 3 broken octaves there, following what the D string's doing. It's the 9th fret, 12th fret, and 7th fret. Adding a little wobble at the end of each. All right, and then just to round things off, that's a little melody on the B strings of 10th fret, 12th, 10th, and then down to 8. So if we rewind to the chordal stab, the next couple of bars after that should sound like this. Here it is in time. 3, 4. And at this point, everything kind of winds down. You might see this written as RAL in transcriptions. It just means everything slows down. It's not playing metronomically anymore. And what happens from here to the end of the tune, you don't need to worry too much about the rhythm because there's no drum kit to lock in with or anything like that. You've got as long as you like. Just to play these slow, simple melodies. That's the first phrase, 8th and 7th on the B string, and then 9 and 7 on the G. Slow down even more at this point. And now we have a long series of notes on the G string, each one decorated by the use of a wah-wah pedal. So you just start with it in the up position and then push the pedal down just after you've picked the note. But without that, it sounds like this. That's 4th, 7th and 9th on the G, followed by the same idea but going on for a bit longer. 4, 7, 9, 12, 11. A little bit Ain't No Sunshine. And then these two, 9th and 11th, same pattern, 2 frets lower. And then finally, nice long note there, 4th fret on the G string. And then 2nd, 7th and 4th frets. So far we've got You might wonder why we're playing all these notes on the same string. I think tonally it sounds a lot more like the record, if you're prepared to move around the neck a bit more and use the fact that every string has its own tonal quality, rather than locking yourself in one remembered scale shape. All right, it's particularly true for the next bit. It's a similar melody to before, 4, 7, 9, 12, 11, 9, 11, 7, 9, 4, 2, And for every note in that phrase, you're scooping up into the note using the bar. So you start with it slack. You should find that you can just hammer those notes on with your fretting hand. And all this hand has to worry about is making sure the bar is depressed at the start of each note and quickly returns to its natural resting place. And there's a strange sound effect you hear on the original here, where he's adding vibrato to the note and pushing the bar down at the same time. So instead of, you get a little bit more exciting. Same thing for this note, 7th fret on the G this time. And the final notes in this piece really aren't notes at all. All you have to do from here to the end is kind of shake the bar around, and you should make the strings move just by Steve Vai's guitar obviously has a trem that moves further than here, so you actually hear the strings sticking to the pole pieces. That's how slack they are when he pushes the bar all the way down. But this is going to vary depending on what guitar you're using. Main point is that you're just shaking the bar frantically, and at the end of it all, you form this kind of E minor chord, so that when you let the bar back, that chord kind of appears as if from nowhere. And that's it. That's Tender Surrender. Good luck, everyone, and bye from me.